Hi everyone, my name is Emil Sire. Welcome to Sire's First Look. This is an episode where I give my first look at Nylas, an email provider company. If you're wondering what's Sire's First Look and why am I trying it out, I just started on my YouTube channel a new playlist, only a couple of episodes. It's called Sire's First Look. And what I do here is I pick any random new tool that I've never tried. I give it my first look and I capture my emotions raw without any edits. And today I'm trying this email provider because I need it not only for one of my clients, but also for this workshop that I have on 3rd of May, where we will build a voice AI agent that connects to your Gmail inbox. And interesting that 158 people already registered. The last one, the part 1 of this workshop, was amazing. Like 110 or 102 registered, but 75 people showed up. Like everybody walked out of that room with their AI agents. So on 3rd of May in Berlin, we'll have this experience, and it's a good opportunity that I'm gonna try out Nylas now and also use it most potentially for that. I did a quick deep research with ChatGPT, and this particular one stood out from all the other competition. So therefore, I'm going to give it a try right now. So I already bought this, the free version. I think they don't have one, but I just bought the first tier. So I'm going to give it a try. By the way, this AI agent that we are building, we're calling it Samantha. It is Samantha from Her, the movie 2013, Joaquin Phoenix's movie. It's the voice AI agent that is used there. And it has somehow a little bit of a story with me because I was running this startup called VoiceKit, where we were trying to build initially the kit, the Knight Rider TV series, the talking car, but with a pivot we took this voice assistant out of the car, and then it just resonated off the shelf with Samantha because it was a voice assistant that could go anywhere with you. And here we go now. Unfortunately, this particular startup do not exist anymore. I liquidated it, and I'm a freelancer. I build AI agents for SMEs in Germany and Europe as a whole for those kind of clients. But now I also run these workshops. So the name of this project will be Samanta. I'll give it a name. This will be an API gateway for a voice AI agent that will check email inboxes. Okie dokie, that's okay. We can keep it United States. I think there might be some. I will go with the default, but when I want to do it for production, I would pick Europe. Okay, let's go on. And maximum number of applications reached for the organization. Okay, I think then I will just take this one and edit it and call it Samantha. It's a sandbox. Oh, that's weird. I don't like this much limitation. Let me see if I delete this and recreate, because I bought the first pricing tier and it seems to be not very nice. And UX problems, I don't know. Let's refresh the page. Okie dokie. Okay. Description, sandbox, development. Fast track your nails build in sandbox environment. It's free environment for early testing. I would like to go for development because I want to write some code and vibe code it. So let's go on. Okay, perfect. So the first thing it's asking me is to connect my Gmail. I want to see the actual end user experience. This is something that I can have a look at later on once it's a little bit further. So let's start connecting my Gmail. Okay, I know where to get these things from, so let's go and get them. It's a little bit buried out in a specific area, but let's just go and get them. So GCP console, and then I believe this Smart Geeks email is okay. I'll connect that one. It would be nice if I create a new project so that we can put Nylas Samanta as a separate one. I'll keep everything as it is. It's creating the project right now. It is done. Let's select it. Okie dokie. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to OAuth consent screen and start. That's where we need to go, but let's I'm gonna just give it the same and the same email address. Since it's gonna be not published, I need to be careful to use the same email address, otherwise then we'll need to go through an approval. What's that called? smartgeeks.io. Okay. Upon this completion, then I can create my clients. I'll create a new client. Apparently it will be a web application. Maybe I'm doing a mistake here, but we'll check it out later on if it didn't work. Oh, somewhere I said Nylas. Is it Nylas or Nylas? Oh, it's Nylas. I did a typo here. So we need to remember this, that the project name is mistakenly called Nylas, but the service is called Nylas. Okay. We'll need to come back to this unless it already gives us what should be the redirect URLs. Here. So for the US hosted, we need to put this as the redirect URLs. Here. I think we got US servers, I remember it. Okie dokie. So here is my client ID. I'm gonna delete the secret anyways later, so it's okay if you guys can see it. Hopefully I will delete it before I upload the videos. Okay, so I think that should have done the job. So I would like to check my calendar. That's nice. I want to kind of like only not do the send. Compose is enough. Read is okay, and calendar read. Yeah, just to be safe, I want to not check the other ones. These ones should not do any harm. Even modify should go away. I will just compose some emails. Okay, so that is enabled. So I was saying like I'm gonna comment on the developer experience as a part of the Sire's first look. To be honest, I'm now kind of like left alone here. After this connection, I should have been greeted with a nice message that congratulations, you're done, then go next to this step. But now I have to find my way out what to do next. So I may go to overview again. That is connected, but what is next? You know, I wanted to build the first integration and it's not taking me there. So, yeah, bad developer experience. Then I have to go and find myself from quick start or somewhere. New to Nylas, get started. Sign up for a free Nylas account. I did that. Make an API request. Okay. How can I do this with... Let's do this. I don't want to edit my videos. Therefore, I'm afraid if it gives me all the calendar entries, and some of my data will be shown here. Let's do the create event. Okay, let's do the create event. I need to get the Nylas grant ID, where to get that from. For the following URL example, you can generate both Nylas grant ID and Nylas grant API key and grant ID from Nylas dashboard. If you're using one of the Nylas SDKs, see the SDK instructions for passing the credentials and grant ID. So let's try it first with curl, and then we'll get that. So first thing first, let's go back to the dashboard and find out this so-called grant ID. Okay, I'm here. Where is my grant ID? Show me my grant ID. Generate new key. Testing Nylas. Delete now. This is my API key, but not my... Here's your new key secret, okay? But this is not my Nylas key, right? I'm gonna keep it secret somewhere. Okay. And we also... Nylas API key. We need Nylas API key and Nylas grant ID. So we need these two keys. Nylas grant ID. Another UX problem, developer experience problem, like Nylas key is something that I need to worry about. Where is that? Perhaps each connected calendar will get one ID, and I might need to get that from inside. So that's my client ID from my Google GCP. And I don't know where is my Nylas. Not good experience, my friend. This is client ID. I'm not sure if this is Nylas ID or not. And I have seen a lot of enterprise applications using two different naming conventions in two different places. So it can happen it's that one. But my gut feeling says that every single integrations, every single connector should get one ID. Why? Because this API call may go to different levels. So this will distinguish basically that calendar. So let's go to the dashboard again. Here, grants. Sorry, I need to just add one new grant. My bad. I see. So now I need to give permission to that particular calendar. And then this is nice. This is exactly nice because now this is coming right away from Nylas's. This is the name of the calendar that I made, and now it's asking for all the required permissions that we have checked on. That's nice. I'm granting this permission to it, all these permissions, and I'm back to this place. One important part would be that how much can I detach this particular grant generation with APIs. This would be one of my curious aspects. Can I generate a grant ID with APIs? So let's check that out. So if I have my APIs, can I generate, do they have this Ask AI? Yes, they do. So can I generate a grant ID using the APIs from Nylas? Slow. Retrieval augmented generation with nkeep. I know nkeep because I was trying to do something similar. So yes, you can generate grant ID through several authentication methods. That's nice. How the user workflow would look like, that's important for me. The end user completes OAuth. Oh, nice. This is important. I have one button on my application. I click it. It goes to Nylas. Nylas takes them to Google or the relevant email provider or calendar provider, and then it goes back to Nylas, and then Nylas generates the grant ID and then sends it back to me. So I can create a Nylas. This is the API key that will go through my server. This piece of code will go through my server, and that's nice. That's a good news for me. I will try it out later. Let's go back to our track of doing the application thing. So here we have our grant ID. This was our API key. I'll come to the rest of them in just a minute. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's go to the getting started again. Okay, it went back to the npm. Actually, why should we not build an app directly? Makes sense, right? We could directly build an app, a quick, tiny app. Well, actually, it is just a backend app, so it would be easy to do it with... yeah, I think it's easier to do it with curl. Okay, so that's calendar. What I wanted to say was... let's see if I can compose an email and receive an email, especially with the webhook. This is also a calendar. Here, get 100 email messages. Send an email message. How about compose? Okay, it's okay. I will send it to my own email address. So I want to do this. And here we are. Hello, that's fine. The email address would be a@emilsire.com. Grant ID is gonna be this. Okay, and the headers, barrier token, Nylas API key. Do I need to do it base 64? I don't think so. Okie dokie. Moment of truth. If I get this thing from Jane Stephens, it's gonna be nice. So 400. Not sure what is wrong. It is correct. Why? Let's take the CC entirely. It should be optional. Not sure. This is weird. Oh, my apologies. There is a comma here. Okie dokie. Provider error. I have some permission issue. Gmail API has not been used in the project this before it is disabled. Okay, I know what's the problem. we need to go back here and enable Gmail API for this particular project. Gmail API. That particular error is not coming from Nylas, it's propagating from Google Cloud Provider. So we need to enable this API in order for this to work. Okie dokie. So one more time. 200. And I got the email. I just saw the heard the vibration on my phone and opening my mailbox on the other screen, and voila, I got it. There we go. So Hello World sent from Nylas. 0 minutes. Perfect. So the overall experience, super simple. Very nice. How easy would be the workflow that I just took a detour to see? Not sure. We'll see it because I asked AI the workflow of kind of creating these grant IDs. I would like to try receiving emails and see how long polling and stuff could work, but it's very simple. And let me think. Wait a minute. In my opinion, this is pretty much a good enough first look. I'm trying to check one thing. If I can interface it with n8n workflows to give it like a totally new spin, and see if Nylas exists here. So let's say if I trigger it manually and then Nylas. Oh, it doesn't have a node for Nylas. Perfect example. Okay. So now this first look is gonna become really interesting. It might go in as a first look / vibe coding. So if you have any idea, if you're watching and you want to know what's vibe coding, I started this 3 days ago, another series where I'm teaching vibe coding 101 to almost everyone. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this first look, this particular first look, and do a vibe coding for this. What do I want to do? I want to write Nylas code. Maybe it makes sense that I try to diagram it here. So I have, let's say, Vapi here. Vapi, I will explain what is Vapi, and then n8n here, and then there is Nylas here, there is Gmail here. That's it. So I want to kind of like create a very nice little round trip between, actually, Nylas is here, Gmail is here, and there's one more thing. And in here we have one more thing, which is our Node.js project. So we'll have like a small Node.js project, and I will show you guys how to interface something as complicated as that. So we'll do a little bit of a round trip like this. It goes from there to there to there to there. So the idea would be that I talk to a microphone. It goes to n8n, triggers a workflow, cleans it up, puts it to a Node.js custom code that will do vibe coding. This sends it to Nylas. basically this kind of an API that we have done. And then that sends it to Gmail, which would be the email that we just received earlier. So we're going to quickly do a small vibe coding of this thing. So it's going to be like Cyrus first look plus vibe coding session. And this vibe coding would be for n8n and Vapi and everything that my workshop is all about. Okay, let's start from Vapi then. Vapi is a voice AI agent. With this, you can build voice AI agents literally with a few clicks. So I have a lot of voice AI agents already here. I will just fast forward and show you guys how to literally build one in a couple of clicks, and then we'll go to the next steps. And when we go, we should come back here and then put a green check mark like this. And say that we are done with this step. Let's go to the next step. Let's go to the next step. Okay. So once you have Vapi on the dashboard, you can go to Assistants. You can click on Create Assistant. I'm going to call it, well, I have a lot of Samantas, so I'm going to call it something else. Lena, for example. And blank template is okay. I'm going to just prompted that you are a lovable AI agent that helps me all the time. You have access to my tools, and when I ask you to compose an email, you will call the relevant tool. So, like compose email. I'll just write it down like that, but we'll keep everything as it is. This also as it is. Iliad? I don't know how Iliad sounds like. Let's see.
Hello?
Hey, how are you? But you're not Lena. Can you hear me?
Hello, I'm an AI assistant here to help you with anything you need. I can assist with composing emails, answering questions, and more. How can I assist you today?
What's your good name? Hello, Emil. How are you? And let's give it some personality. Your name is Iliad. Okay, I like the voices, the voice of it, and also the latency and everything is nice. Okay, so this is the moment. Our AI assistant is pretty much ready. That's okay. What would make...
Hello, Emil. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Iliad?
I'm just a bundle of code and algorithms.
I don't want them to say that, but anyways, we're not prompt engineering. What I would like to do is now create a tool, and then this tool will call a webhook. So let's go here, create a tool here. And this tool would be a, let me think. Well, it can be a function, and that would be compose email. This tool is used to compose an email. We put that there. Let's make it as, no, let's keep it as it is. Here, the server URL will be the n8n workflow URL. Let's remove this and put a webhook URL in here. And just let's do the testing and get this webhook URL, go back here, test it here. Actually, let's go back to our this, post it here, make it post. I think this was not a post, it was a get, so let's stop listening. Change this to post, start listening, copy, go back to our thing. Let's change this to JSON and put world. And there we go. So our webhook URL is okay. Listen again, give me the URL, go to Vapi, paste it. Okay, this is good. We don't need to secret and so on for now. Okay, compose email. Do I have another? Compose an email, not that one, but compose email, okay? Because I have other tools so that we don't make mistakes. Oh, unfortunately, I cannot rename it anymore. It's called Lena here, Elliot here, but let's remember that. Okay, it's okay. And then when I come to tools, I need to select which tool I want. So the compose email tool. There's one more thing that we should do when you're doing tooling. Go to advanced, and tools is okay, but there is, oh, they changed the UI. This is frequent. The change of the UI is frequent. Anyways, let's try it out. Let's keep talking.
Hello, Amal. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm just a bunch of code, but I'm here and ready to help you with anything you need.
I have a quick request. Can you please compose an email to John and mention that I'll be 20 minutes late?
This will just take a sec.
Okay, it just worked. I saw the compose going through. I got the body of this. I got the system prompt. As you can see, this was a system prompt. Your name is email, da da da. And it spoke to me. I'm doing good. I'm just a bunch of code. Quick request, can you compose an email to John? I'll be late 20 minutes. Perfect. Okay, so I'm not gonna make a perfect AI agent out of this, but I'm gonna just do it very fast. So therefore, bear with me. So let's pick this AI agent. Let's pick a model for this. I already have configured OpenAI. So we'll get OpenAI here. Memory, we don't need anything for the memory part. And what I would like to do is I would like to define the system prompt here and compose the following as an email body and change this to expression. And then find where do I have, which payload should I get from this? We can do some sanitization. Oh, still Elliot is listening to me. That's bad. Okay. So let me see. Client message, no. The user message. So basically, this could be the thing, but the conversation can be a lot different. So if you see, this is kind of like the fourth conversation going to this, like the fourth index. So there's like, it can be 4, 5, 6, so on. So the best would be that we pick all the messages, I think. All the messages. This would be the easiest way. Then LLM will discover it properly. I think it will discover it properly. Let's test it out and then we'll see on the body if it is doing it properly or not. Okay. Following is the JSON object that you should extract the meaning from in order to compose an email. Okie dokie. So I think we need to do a little bit of JavaScript. Stringify. This should do the job. Now it is okay. There we go. Voila, we got the email basically. One more instruction I would like to give to the system prompt is that please just compose the body, not the title. Just the body is enough. Oh, indeed. Since we have subject and body, then let me create that like that. So we're not gonna handle contact information. This we can hard code it in our Node.js because we have to do a lot of things. So please create a JSON object that has the subject and body separately mentioned. I think there's a specific node for this, which is the right way to do it. Make sure that you do not respond anything else but JSON. This approach is the old way of doing it. Now we have function calling, and it's a better way to do it than this, what I have done, where we have this parse output, structured output parser, this one. We should be using that in order to do that, but it's okay. I just want to make the point that this is what we could do. All right, so this is now the moment when you did some work here. Basically, if we go back to our Excali draw, we are done with this part. We created our n8n. Now it's time to go here and vibe code something on Node.js, and then basically the entire request goes to our this entire request goes to a so-called HTTP request. And what would be this HTTP request? It would be a post. What would be the URL? I'll talk about in just a minute. And the payload would be basically this. And then we can play around with it a little bit once we get it on the other side. In order to make it easy, I don't want to make it complicated. I will just remove this part so that I just get like... please only compose the body of the email, no subject, no nothing, just the body. This way, then I can just ignore the parsing part, and then our tutorial will be faster. But other than that, like as I mentioned, we should properly use that parser, the structured parser, so that we can get out things, and also it should have like the required tools. Right now it just goes on and goes back to a terminal. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's go to Vibe Coding 101. So actually I am running a course and I created this folder for that course, so let's do it here. I'm going to create a folder. I will call this folder, I don't know, Nylas. Nylas will have a lot of things, which we will do. Initiate this as a node with Bun. Node project. This is the term I was looking for. Node.js project with Bun. So as soon as we get this running, then we need to go to Nylas's. Where were we? I think on Nylas's documentation, because we haven't yet tried that part. Because they have some SDKs, and I would like to try their SDKs and cover that a little bit. Okay, dokie. So let's go to their docs, and I think it was on getting started, API quick start. So yeah, they have like Nylas as an npm package. Let's quickly do a review of Nylas npm package. The way I usually do an npm package review is like I look at weekly downloads. I look when was last published. And then I go to the npm package repository, number of stars, MIT license, contributors, which language, insights for how long the contribution has been there. It kind of like gives me a general sense of feeling about this. So it's 10 years old package. So apparently it is pretty baked up. Like it might do most of the things as it promises to do. So I will just do one thing. I'm not sure if it makes sense that I'm just thinking out loud. Wait a minute. So it takes client ID. That's Nylas client ID, Nylas API key we have, Nylas API URI. Yeah, we have this one as well. An API key, API URI. Where is the grant ID? So it is basically, the grant ID might be sitting here on this config. And then the authentication, redirect your user to the provider's login screen. Oh, I see. This is nice. This is what I was looking for as an experience. Like, how does it look like when I go through this experience? And then this would be my authentication route. Nice. And then finally comes the time when I compose something. Exchange code from token. Okay, this is the time when we hit these things. So we're sending an email. We're going to use this one. It will need grant ID, which we already have. We'll art code this part. And everything else above this should do the job for initiating our Nylas object and the project. Perfect. So let's start from the beginning. I'm gonna do one small change from this one. I like Fastify more, so I'm gonna just quickly vibe code it here. Can you initiate a Fastify server? Meanwhile that's doing that, I will go and give it this. And the compose email, where was it? Oh, there's a lot that I can try out, but this one for now, just this one. Okay. And we can meanwhile do an env file and put all of these keys here that Nylas needs. Okay. I'm not sure if all of those keys are needed because we're not doing authentication through user experience. We're just doing it through our own art-coded grant ID that we already have in our project somewhere. I think we had it somewhere here. Yep. So let's keep them here. Maybe I can create a Nylas client secret. So API key already got it. Nylas URI. I think the URI was a little bit different than that. Now I don't remember where was it exactly. I think we have it on the here. On the consent screen on the client redirects. Yep, this one. I'm not sure even if that's needed, because we will not need it, as we are gonna not do the authentication through this workflow. It's gonna just send one simple item. Okay, that's done, and here our Fastify is done. What I would like to do now here is I'm gonna vibe it here that can you please implement this very simple post endpoint that would compose an email and send it using Nylas and using a hard-coded grant ID that is inside the .env file. Following are the code samples from an Express.js code that you need to bring it and convert it to Fastify so that I can run it and check it out. Okay, let's see if it gets it right. Vibe coding 101. I'm not sure if .env is... I'm not sure if you need to install .env because we're using Bun and it comes off the shelf. Okay, Nylas, you can add Nylas, that's fine. And there is a problem with cursor, it's a bug, I hope they will fix it very soon. When it uses the terminal, it gets stuck like that. So what I do usually is either write continue or I copy paste the result. So let's type continue so it can carry on. So not sure why it is editing this. Oh, it replaced my keys. No, it didn't replace it. Okay, it's trying to read it. Okay. Okay. It's still generating. Okay, so it recursively fixed that problem that I picked. The future of these AI agents, coding AI agents, is extremely awesome. Like, they're becoming smarter and smarter as the time passes. So it's done. Let's see, what did it do? So it started this Nylas send email endpoint that basically is sending something to this email. Let's check it out. Why did it create two hallucinations? Why did you create 2 times the same endpoint? Can you tidy it up? Oh, sorry. One is get, one is post. I just need a post endpoint, not get one. Remove the get one. The reason I don't want to remove it myself, I know it's easier for all the skeptics and meme dudes. I could do it like this, but I want to kind of like go with the vibe of the AI agent so that it goes in the memory of AI agent. I'm not sure how much easier would it be to kind of like remove it and then does it index it, chunk it, put it in the vector database for rag retrieval later on or not. But if I ask it and then it removes it, it definitely will index it. It definitely will go through the pipeline. So therefore, it will remember that, oh, I created Git and the guy doesn't need Git. So that's why I tend to do very simple things also through my AI agent, which is right now Sonnet 3.7. Okay, so this apparently should work. It's getting everything from the body. It is working, so let's try it out. Yep, let's try it out. So I'm gonna do this, bun diff or bun run diff. What? Is in use. Why don't you use another port? Not this, not this. Okay, so it's using port 300 and the payload. Can you please generate the payload that I should send to this endpoint? Okay, now first thing first, we'll try it with Postman, and then we'll try it with a proper n8n and Vapi integration. Okay. So we have this thing here. I'm gonna give it the email address that I have. Test email from Nylas, that's fine. Everything seems to be fine. I'm gonna send it. Failed to send email, 500. Let's see what is the 500. It says request completed, error sending email. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of logging. So I'm gonna ask it, well, there was an error. Can you please add enough logs so that I can find out what's wrong? Well, this voice dictation tool that I'm using is using clipboard in order to send data, so therefore the log that I copied is gone, but it's okay. I will copy it another time. Okay. Why does it need this? For terminals, no. Let's avoid adding... Oh, it picked it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's so smart. It doesn't... Oh, it already unable to determine transport target origin. Where is that coming from? From Nylas's? I think it's the redirect URI. Let's see. It's literally when the Nylas object is created here. Why is it again after Pinot pretty? Okay. Oh, I see. So that v3 connect callback was in the ANV, and now it should be good to go. Nice. Let's try it out from Postman. And voila, the email is sent. Let me see. Yes, sir. I got the email. So here we go. The email is sent from a Node.js, 4:18 p.m., 4:19 p.m. Okay, it's the time to do the magic gluing part. So the URL is this, right? But I cannot use this URL inside my n8n. What I will do is use ngrok HTTP 3000. This will open a reverse proxy. If you don't know ngrok, it's an awesome company, but lately their pricing became really stupid. But I love the company since they existed. I'm using them. It allows you to open a reverse proxy from your local computer to the world so that you can do tunneling. And then I'll take this URL, only this space URL, and then I'll go to the n8n instance that I had, which is way down there or way up here. And then here I have created a so-called HTTP request. This HTTP request is gonna hit this URL but slash this Nylas slash send email like this. And then it's gonna send this particular body, and the body would have like how many, let's move this thing here so it's easy. The body will have three fields. One is called to. Well, let's, as I said, we will hard code the to and the subject maybe as well, to just make the point. But you can imagine like we can destructure it properly and then use the fields just to cut our entire journey easy. So we made it like that. And then the body is gonna be this output that comes from here to here. There we go. And if I click on test right now, what it will do is it will call my function, and I should see a traffic there, and I just got an email. There was a thing happening, and there was a traffic coming there. And let me check my email inbox, and voila, email is here. Hi John, I want to let you know that I'll be 20 minutes late. Thanks for your understanding. Best, Elliot. Now that everything is connected, I would like to test this workflow and put them all side by side. Let me see if I don't have any let me actually make it super small so I don't share some personal email information and so on with you guys. Okay, so I hope it's not going to resize itself. Anyways, so that's going to be my inbox, and this is going to be my n8n. And one more thing we can do is we can also open the Vapi dashboard here and n8n here. Okie dokie. This is the moment of truth. So we go to our assistant, Lena or Elliot. We start talking to it.
Hello, Amal. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm just a bundle of code, so I'm always good. But
Yep.
I'm even better now that we're chatting. How can I help you today?
I would like to compose an email to Jane and tell her that I am super sorry I could not make it to the meeting, but I am going to be online, so if possible, send me the Google Meet link. I will join online. I'm driving to the mountains.
Give me a moment.
Okay, it worked out there. I'm gonna end the call with Elliot, and there we go. The email also arrived here. It says what I have just spoken on the microphone. Hi Jane, I'm really sorry that I couldn't make it to the meeting. However, I'll be online, so if possible, could you please send me the Google Meet link? I'll join online as I'm currently driving to the mountains. Thank you. Best regards. Your name. So your name and everything else, those can be customized. But this was just a quick walkthrough of showing you, which actually happened like literally on the go. I want to do a first look, and then it happened that we tried Nylas, we tried Gmail, we tried Google. So literally we did this entire workflow, and especially the most beloved thing that I really enjoyed working with for the past couple of years on and off, but past couple of months intensively, especially my entire, my entire workshop is about this, exactly this workflow. So it was a good, quick rehearsal for me to do the workshops. And you guys, just to do a quick recap, we did this. We did the Vapi integration thingy. So this was also interesting that we knew how to interface Vapi with this. And besides that, we also did some vibe coding, like literally using Nylas's interface with our UI. With our Postman. So we used actually Postman in order to interface everything. This was one extra piece of work that I never intended to do, but this is good that I did it. And then we also learned how to spin off a quick and dirty application, like a Node.js application using our terminal. Especially kind of like doing this Next.js, reverse proxy thingy with our Node.js server. And we also did some vibe coding, and literally we built ourselves a simple application that sends emails to Nylas, and then Nylas takes care of that whole experience. This was one piece of work that we did. Another piece of work that was also important, which is kind of like the most important part when it comes to configurations of these things, is the GCP integration. So this will anyways be a part that you will need to go through all the time. So we went through literally all of these things in one sitting. If you like this episode of vibe coding / Cyrus First Look, you might want to join this workshop I have on 3rd of May. It's an amazing workshop. I'm sure all of you will walk out of this workshop with a lot of enthusiasm and with a lot of new things to do. And this is the QR code to scan, or that's the URL. I'll leave it in the video link. And with that, thank you so much. My name is Emil Sire. I build AI agents for SMEs in Europe. Bye.